Hey guys, Did the Awesome here to give you a Team Shop update video for June 19th, 2017, where we'll be discussing the new update for Monster Legends Team Shop. Of course, it says on the title update, and you also read correctly, it's also the worst update ever. Like, I'm not kidding you, it's the worst update ever. uh, just hands down, it's not a pretty update. It's just not. Just nope. None at all. It's not the prettiest. It's getting. I hope it gets better because this is absurd. uh, General Invarv, you read this correctly. General Invarv costs 2.5k, and he's not the only general that costs that. What was once a mandatory general, he still is, except the difference is he costs a lot more than he should have. Alright, so we imagine them being bumped up a little bit in prices because that's what they said in the update video. That's not what happened. That's just not what happened. If you hear that, that's my cat. I'm sorry. uh, it's Loki. Yeah. Man, she meows really loud. uh, yeah, they bumped the prices up in the shop, and it's really, really high. Okay, I know for a fact that they said they were gonna base the pricing upon the how good the monster was. Invarsa is not worth 1.25k. I can tell you that much. uh, but yeah, that's a thing. All the journals were bumped up to prices. I think they based it upon usage. I'm 100% sure, dude. I'm 100% sure they based it on usage. Like maybe they put up a chart of how many people uses this monster, and then they jacked up the prices a million. uh, General Shannara costs 1.8k. Like for usual, we are going to talk about things left and right, but I just want to point out stuff real quick. I'd like to say Team Shop runes, real quick. They don't have a yellow sign on them. That could mean that they're going to leave them in the shop forever, and or you know they're going to take them off after the fraternity event ends. They're white at the moment, so I'm assuming they're going to stay in the shop forever. That's how you can usually tell if they're going to stay in the shop for like the month. So feel free to spend your coin, on runes or something like that if you needed a monster with team runes on. I have slash planning on having several monsters in the future having team runes on, so I might invest in. I'm thinking about it. All that jazz. But yeah, I am really sure. Look at all this. Look at all the prices. We have a lot to discuss today. Uh, let's talk about. Whoops, that's my alarm. There's a bunch of funny stuff happening right now. All right, so Invarv. Invarv is a really great monster. I do believe I've talked about him in countless videos. Mandatory for beginners, mandatory for just competitive players. It's just too good of a monster not to have. Now the only problem is he's worth 2.5k. You can see how that's a problem with some slash everyone. Because it costs an arm and a leg. I'm gonna say compared to Invarv's pet, he's worth the wait. Totally is. It's just don't even consider even getting Invarv's pet. As far as I'm concerned, he's about as worthless as Dharma's pet. He does no damage, but he doesn't. Yeah, it's just that's how he is. I mean, like he can protect, he can do protection and then put up a shield. He's pretty much a sponge. That's all he is. That's all he's capable of is sponging. Just straight up the bat, that's all he does. He sponges. That's it. He does no damage. If you a damage die, odds are you'll be dead. He's just a sponge. General Shannonar, magic attacker, a bunch of single target effects. All right. I wouldn't think she'd be worth 1.8k, but apparently she is. At least that's the lowest price. As far as I'm concerned, that's the lowest new price for generals. Invar's pet, like I said, is a sponge only. He does nothing else. The only problem with it, no, being a sponge is fine, but he does nothing else beyond that. He does no damage. If he's stuck in a 1v1 fight, he can't do anything about it. Just none. You're dead at that point. If you're stuck in a 1v1 fight, you're done. Because he can't do his damage isn't there. It's non-existent. And he doesn't have any life regen. He has none. He has nothing to support his shielding. Shannara's pet. Shannara's pet's pretty good. Single target, denying, and he or she. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. I would think it's a girl, but watch it's like some like those movies where like like the people could talk to animals and then they talk to a chihuahua that everyone thinks the girl. No, it's a dude. But yeah, that kind of situation. But yeah, this is a it's kind of like a magic Invarv too at the same time because it can give AoE life regen and stamina regen, which is pretty neat. That's a really neat thing. I do believe it has the trait immune to possession, possibly. I think that was the case. Moving on is Invar's Bodyguard. Now, personally, I don't like the stats on this new monster. He costs about the same as Invarv, so it's no different than buying Invarv. I'd say between him and or Invar's Bodyguard, I'd still get Invarv. Just still. Invar's Bodyguard is a very again he's part of the new series called the Bodyguards, Bodyguards of the Generals, and he's very situational. I'm gonna say that right off the bat. Very situational monster in most cases. He's meant to stop metal damage dealers. The only problem I'm gonna find with these new Bodyguards, every monster has a special attack, and we're getting monsters that don't just do metal damage anymore. We got Roxanne, for example, that can do fire damage, and then we have the cross between Jabeline and Haku. Jakugan? Yeah. Jakugan. Yeah, Jakugan. That monster that can do dark damage too. I don't see this being too useful of a monster. I do believe he gets double damage, but again, very situational. I find this monster so very situational. I don't see him being too good with it. I mean, like taking half damage, because you can, magnetize. Magnetism is a thing. So if anything, you could just take away magnetism bonus. That's all that really is. I can't see. I can't see him being too good. Other things he does. I'd say the neatest thing about him was his AoE bleed. I like that. That's cool. When the game's immune to AoE bleed. I can't remember what his trait is. I would think it's tough. Odds are it's tough. Master Skill is back in the shop. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are actually not too happy about this because he was actually in the shop before Exo Skill came. So you can imagine a swip swap. Or it could have been a reptile. I can't remember on top of my head. But a lot of people don't like this. A lot of people are like, oh man, I wanted something cool and new. Not that Invarv's not cool. Not that Master Skill isn't cool. It's just that we want something new. But then again, it's great for people that missed out on him. I'm gonna say for the most part, you should totally pick up on him. It's just a really nice monster to have. Just a lot of people already have him from the previous update. We'd like to see something new or something really cool come back to the shop, like Tymeron. That would be such a good monster for everybody. I'd say keep saving your coins if that ever becomes a thing, because that monster is fantastic. Dono Turtle is now in the shop for 300 war coins. I'm gonna say this is you might want to look into this. I mean, it's not a bad support. The only bad thing I'd say about Dono Turtle is he's really, really slow. So you should probably rank him up to make him not that anymore. Overall, I think Dono Turtle is a fantastic support. The only thing holding him back is his speed. And Beatrat is basically the upgraded version. He has 200 more speed, and he does the exact same thing. I think they just copy-pasted the moves. I think that was it. But you can rank this one up now. You have the opportunity to. I'm gonna say I would think it's worth the buy. And honestly, I think it's worth the buy. And this is out for 27 days and 20 hours. So this is the permanent shop. This is this month's shop. This isn't going away. Dang, I forgot to tell my phone too. A lot of interruptions this video. Lots of them. All around. Interruptions all around. Notification, meowing. Possible hearing of the dryer in the background. Yeah. That's a thing. We also have cells too. Did I just pass Dono Turtle again? I did. Okay. But yeah, Donatello is a really good support. Just held back speed. He's slower. He's just really slow. The most nowadays epics is just slower. Just something you have to deal with. Uh, but if you rank him up, you can patch it up. I do believe. I don't remember his speed at like rank 3 or 4, but I'm pretty sure it's patched by then. Or at least it's somewhat patchable. It's not gonna be like super amazingly fast. Bum, 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 bum. Let's talk about cells. No, I don't know if it's cheaper to get cells uh, versus the solid form. I see. I don't know for 100%, but I want to say if you want to save resources, obviously cells is to say, but I feel like you get more just by just extracting the general themselves. So I don't want to say 100%. Use your coins to. I'll get this. Let's see, 50, 10, 300. So. And yeah, I don't know if it's cheaper just to buy the cells for Donatello or just the solid form. I would think getting solid form would be better. Odds are it's better. Yeah, just get take my word for it. Just get the solid form of anything, then just feed it to whatever level, and then feel free to rank it up. But it's a real shame that some of these monsters got a really huge boost in pricing. Like these pricings aren't even like considered new player obtainable. It's just so expensive. uh, but yeah, some of these event journals aren't here for 3 days too. Like these ones down here, just only available for 3 days. Uh, General Atum, really great monster, mandatory Earth monster as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people have this guy ranked up all the way, and it's going to get harder for people now to have him ranked up, obviously, because he's 2.5k coins. This guy is expensively expensive. Uh, it's just a lot of coins. That's a lot of coins for a new player, in all honesty. Just a player in general, just so many coins. I'd say the only people that don't have a problem with this update are people that get constant coins, or like everyone on their team is always active, they're always winning fights. I feel like at no time they'll get at least one of these without worrying too much. But for newer players or inactive teams, they're gonna take years to get at least one of these things. These prices are absurd. uh, the General Holter is out for 1.8k at the moment. I always liked Holter. Single target damage is really nice. He's got double damage. He's got a burn move. AoE magnetism combo. As far as I'm concerned, he's one of the more popular ones that does it. Overall, is a really nice monster. I think the only thing that's not nice about him is his base life, but that's why you rank people up. General CD is 2.5k now. All I gotta say is hallelujah. We won't ever see this ranked up for at least the newer generations or people that start playing this game. Am I right? But boy, are the people in the middle kind of pissed about this. They're like halfway there and they're like, wait, what? Why? What? Sorry, guys. uh, But yeah, that's increased now too. I'm gonna say out of all of these, I think that one's the most justifiable one, just because of how stupid she is. Man, you can't tell me that control is stupid. You can't tell me 100% stamina drain is quote unquote fair. It's not. But yeah, she got turned down a peg. We got General Uri of 1.8k. I'm gonna say it's totally worth getting. A lot of people don't. I'd say he's got mixed reviews. I'd say. I'm just gonna support it. I'm on the supportive side of Uri. You should totally get him. Totally rank him up. Totally worth it. In terms of ranking up though, I do believe his pet's easier. Yeah, his pet's easier. If you want to save a few coins, you can start on Uri as pet, and then maybe in the future when he's not an arm and a leg, maybe you can rank him up easier. General Nishant. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna move in this a bit. General Nishant's out for 2.5k. I'm gonna say this is a huge price increase for Nishant, and you probably should have gotten him out when it was 1.15k. This monster is actually pretty good in terms of the new books. In terms of books coming out, we're starting to see more of him, and he's doing fantastic. Where he's at. General Dartmouth, the general of the troops. I just kind of read the bio there, but he is really good because he is in two books. For some reason, he's in Evil Legion. I wouldn't think this guy would be an evil general, but he is. Yeah, that's weird. But anyway, anywho, uh, this is pretty mandatory fire legendary. Now he's 2.25k. I don't know why they just made him 2.25k. People loved using this thing. As far as I'm concerned, it's like second or third compared to a tomb, or like in terms of like favoritism board here. I don't know why he cost 0.25k less. You know, I don't understand that. uh, but that's just the thing. General Dartmouth can do self buffs, all that jazz. Uh, takes reduced damage when he has that self buff up. General Alcest, or okay, back when I used to call him General Achilles. General Alcest is a very versatile nature healer. He can regenerate himself while also stunning somebody. He gives 100% not life regen life healing. He heals life for 100%. That's a 6-turn cooldown, by the way. But if you're running Bowtie, that's OP. If you're running something that can reduce the cooldowns by, or just take off the cooldowns on it, that's a strong healing. It's probably the strongest healing skill you'll ever see in the game, and it would be totally unfair, and people would call you out on it if they saw it in a live PvP fight. Atune's Pets, 1.25k. Now this price didn't increase too much. It's just 0.25 more, or like 250 more. You know, uh, I consider him better than Darmus Pet, but in all honesty, what isn't better than Darmus Pet? Uh, you know, uh, I think people would argue if there was any pet, like equally worthless, or considered even more, people would consider more worthless. It's probably it's gonna be Invar's Pet, probably. But I don't know. I just don't like. I personally don't like Diamond's Pet. I would literally use anything else but Diamond's Pet. I just don't like Diamond's Pet. The Derp Dragon. Derp, 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 derp. Holter's Pet. Uh, Holter's Pet actually didn't get a big increase in terms of pricing. He's 0.15, he's 0.150k. I mean, he's got 150 coins more. Uh, I like Holter's Pet. I use him. He's fun. I use him on occasion with other magnetism teams, or just like teams that orient around the idea of weakening. He runs better with those kind of teams. Uh, I've had fun with him. No complaints. He's slow. That's all that I have to say. Is like not packing the fastest speed in the world. I'd say this is a general pet that's worth ranking up. I appreciate him. He's a nice monster. Thudy's Pet. Thudy's Pet got 500 more coins on him, and I really wish I got him before like the update. I didn't know how bad this update was gonna be. Like I obviously I knew they were gonna increase the prices, but holy shit, man! Did you see that? Sorry for the Francais, but man, did they improve the prices of the generals? Man, they did. So fantastic attacker. All water-based moves. That's the only thing that people don't like about it, is the fact all of its moves are water-based. As far as they're concerned, that's not a concern. Because he holds a double damage buff, and he pretty much does normal damage to water monsters at that point, and that's fine. If anything, it's just a picky thing. For most people. That's the only reason why people don't use him all too much. But he's considered one of the more popular monster pets. People that can see past that. It's actually a fantastic. He just destroys. He destroys anything that's not water immediately, and then he can destroy things that are water immediately after. Uria's Pet. Uria's Pet is the attacking form of Uria, pretty much. He holds less utility, but holds more damage. He does more damage. You could say he's just damage. But he's better just damage than Darmus Pet, and he does hold some utility in the form of some residue damage. He can do residue damage like Voltic, and he also holds I do believe he holds the daze, but you don't really equip it on him. His damage is just overall better. Uh, You know, again, he has some small stuff that puts him aside from the old Darmus pet there. Uh, I'd use anything but Darmus pet. I'd say in terms of Thunder monsters, he has one of the higher hitting attack ratios in the game just because of his base moves are being so high. Nishan's pet, considered one of the best pets for most. This is a really good denier, AoE possession, immune to possession, a lot of possession skills, and he has one of the best deny in terms of single target. It's not denies, but single target debuffs in the game. He has one of the better ones that can blaze blind and daze at the same time. Such a huge debuff against a lot of deniers in the game. It's just a universally great move on anybody. You know, you can use it on anyone, and their day is just ruined. Dartmouth's pet, most worthless pet of all, because he's considered the worst. Uh, if anything, people would say Invar's pet too. You know, that's a fair. I'd say they're equally in their terms of their own category. Comparing everything else in their own category again, that's a fair statement. That is a very fair statement. You see, he was the first monster to come out for pets, and he wasn't impressive. Or like it's like you take one look at him, and like this was the first impression, really. And yeah, it didn't turn out well. I don't know how people are gonna feel about this new bodyguard, but hopefully it's better than this pet. I'm hoping. At least the bodyguard does something. I'm gonna say it's a way better than when the pets first came out. I'm gonna say just straight up the bat, this new like although the pricing is absurd. The pricing is of course absurd, but I think the idea is new. Dartmouth wasn't new. Dartmouth was like this has already been done. uh, he was pretty much I like to consider him Nerf Dartmouth. General Dartmouth, that's all he is. I mean, like, he doesn't have, a double damage not buff, all that jazz. Just really plain. He's the plane of planes, and he blows up. His ultimate is literally taking his own life and taking someone with him. In war, that's worthless. At least it's like, in terms of attacking, it is absolutely worthless. It just is. I'm gonna say that's I'm gonna say that's good on a defensive team because you have a chance to kill or take away a coin. I imagine people see it's just that bad of a monster. I still wouldn't even use it on defense because that means you've lost your attacker at that point. So odds are they'll get 2 coins out of you. Odds are they have a high chance of 2 coining you at least. Ulce's pet. Now I consider this one of the best. If in terms of like not including a denier perspective, like no deniers are one of the strongest things in the game. I consider this the best pet. In terms of you gotta look at the category of which he can counter. He counters pretty much every nature monster in the nature category, save for a handful that don't rely on healing, because that's what he does. He counters healing, and nature monsters love to heal. That's all they're doing is healing. It's like pretty much a anti-freezer, and everyone in the category freezes is essentially the same equivalent of that. He's that annoying. I mean, he's that prominent in his league. He punishes the monsters for trying to do good on themselves. Basically, he can not only does he apply the negative healing, preventing shield block. He's preventing the game from lasting forever, which nature fights usually do last quite a bit of time if you're fighting a tanky comp. And he has moves that go off that. He has healing. He can heal the enemies, quote unquote healing, but that obviously they're taking damage at this point. They're taking percentage damage. I do believe he holds a 15% and a 25% AoE or just healing relating moves. Really, and honestly, really great monster. I find him fantastic. I'm probably gonna pick him up if I do get enough coins before the end of this event here. So runes real quick. Runes used to be real. In all honesty, solid runes are better. For the most part, you do usually just put solid runes on your monsters. Some monsters do use team runes. Are capable of using team runes. I'm having several monsters at the moment uh, that are using like team runes and all that jazz. There's monsters that are looking into it. I like the prisoner. I've been using the prisoner lately. Uh, and there have just been monsters that are coming out that would work really good with team life because their base life is alright, or team power if you wanted to, just to increase the power of your allies. Just team rune monsters that you could build team runes on, and it's completely fine. It works for the most part. But I'm gonna say in terms of like Dib, what's the most valuable rune of all? I'd say, obviously a lot of people love competitive team speed runes. Level 7 to be exact. I'm gonna say if you do need to pick up level 7s, by all means, it's not a bad idea. Looking at the shop, I think it'd be more beneficial to just and honestly, if you have everything, I just say invest your time in runes for the most part because you're gonna need them in the future, especially level 7 team speeds. Uh, Especially when you're in the later games, I'd say, or at least like in the if you caught up to like dealing with a bunch of shenanigans like X speed opponents. uh, that's about it. Okay, so in terms of monsters, and of all of these monsters, what would I say you should rank up? If you're in that point of the game where you may rank up your monsters, I'd recommend ranking up Donna Turtle here. Is he an epic? Yes. Is he worth epic ranking up? Yes. His support is really, really absurd. In terms of what he can do, he's nice. He's really nice. He's one of the in terms of quote unquote supporting. He's pretty great at that. He's fantastic. And he's only 300 coins. I mean, look at all these prices. I mean, all these prices at the moment. You want to think an epic? You want to think you'd ever hear me say this, but the epic's looking pretty flattering to rank up at the moment. Look at the pricing on that. That is amazing. uh, if they plan on changing that in the future, you should look into that. I mean, you should really look into that. I mean, like it's not a bad monster to rank up. You could probably get like, I'd say you could get like three of the. I would say if you have the exact same coin amount I have at the moment, you could almost get four, almost not quite. Uh, I think you could get like three at the moment. Yeah, I could get like three at the moment. Uh, I already have one to begin with, so that's at least rank two for sure. It's just the things you gotta think about. Uh, I might continue to save up for team runes. I don't know. I still have time to think about it, man. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this new Team Shop update. You don't have to tell me twice that the prices are absurd. I know they are absurd. That's the main point of this video was how absurd the prices were. As far as I'm concerned, they also bumped the prices for cells for some of these monsters. uh, but yeah, let me know. Let me know how you guys feel. I am here to support everybody. I support your rage of the price increasing. It's not a good adjustment in terms of the economy, in terms of getting coins. But yeah, I'm Dib the Awesome, and I'll catch you guys. Words. I'm Dib the Awesome, and I'll catch you guys later.